Every time I walk in here, this is what I see. It's little Miss Kendra on her computer. This is her bunk. She takes the top bunk up of the two bunk system that we have. She's got her little curtains, so at night we can just close her off and she can have some privacy. There's a little stepladder for her to be able to get up there. Down below her bed is one of our storage areas. You can see that this has a ton of containers in it. So this is all my husband's Warhammer 40K stuff, and then I keep the laundry there and the crock pot. The nice thing about having this storage area is that if I don't want to see it, boom, I can just close up the curtain and ta-da, it's gone. We recently acquired one of our old dogs, so this is her dog crate down here. This is where I was keeping the laundry down here, but we've moved it obviously up to that next bunk up so that the dog can have a place to stay. Here's our little dog. She's taking a little rest. It's been very windy and rainy outside, so she hasn't got to go out as much, and I think she's sad from not being able to go outside. We've got our bathroom here, and it's not, again, we live here, so it's not super fancy. This is our storage for our bathroom here. So each of us brought 2 towels on this journey, so our 2 towels store inside of each of these cubbies. Yes, we have a bathroom. We do not do a composting toilet. My husband insisted on changing out the toilet to this white fluffy thing. It's like a foam padded seat and he loves it, so whatever. This shower does have like a pull curtain, but I can't ever get it to work, so I decided that it would be better if I just put a shower curtain up, and that's been much easier for all of us to manage. These bins were just little Michael's bins that I found for 99 cents. We have a lot of miscellaneous things that we use a lot, so I've just been treating that area as a catch-all. I think I may get a little curtain that goes over the top of it just so it looks a little bit nicer in here, but for now, while we've been on this trip, this works. Yes, Kendra sometimes leaves lemonades in the bathroom. That's just how it works out. On this side, I found this little thing on Amazon and it works out wonderfully. These are little cups for when we're trying to save a little bit of water to brush our teeth. And you can see we've got our toothbrushes here, our hand soap, all of our flosses down here, along with our toothpaste. And then these are basically the toiletries that we use all the time. Our bathroom does have an outlet in it. Pretty basic setup, medicine cabinet and everything. So there's my laundry that I haven't put away yet. Back here again by the door, we have coats out, swimming suits, towels from the pool. We've been swimming and enjoying being out in the hot tub a lot, and so we're constantly using our swimsuits. So we leave them there just so it's convenient for us to get to them easily. Down here we've got a little space for shoes. When you come in the door, you can just kick your shoes off right there. These are all of the switches that you end up with. This operates the slide, this one operates the awning, and then this is our electric and gas water heater, our water pump for when we're out and about places and we fill up our fresh water tanks, and then we also have an awning light and the ceiling light. So these are all of our switches so we know how full our tanks are. The black tank is like basically where your poop and pee goes, and the gray tanks, one of them is for the sink and the other one is for the shower. I wasn't showering in here at first, but I am all the time now. So, you know, I keep an eye on those because the last thing I want to do is have water collecting in the bottom of when I'm showering, which has not happened yet, and I hope to keep it that way. We do have a TV. It sits right across from, boom, where our couch is. This is also my husband's workstation, so he was able to find this nice little table here, which he does his hobbying on, and he keeps his laptop here. Again, he's not home today, so it's easier for me to film these videos because I'm not interrupting his day. So he usually has his laptop here, and he's sitting here where the dog is sitting, conducting business. And then this is where we spend a lot of our time in the evenings. Just because we're RVers and we're on the road doesn't mean that we have gotten away from watching TV. One of the things that I did hook up that was pretty important to me was right here. We lose remotes a lot in our normal house, and so moving into this, I just wanted to make sure that there was an easy way for us to keep track of the remotes. So I just put some Velcro on the back, stuck it on here, and then we always know where the remotes are. So I have the bad habit of putting this one up here, so it seems to always be lost, sliding down here or in this little crack behind the dinette. This is our kitchen, and we do our best to keep it pretty tidy. So at night I try to do up the dishes, fill up the water. This is a gas range, so I clean out underneath the grate and try to keep the counters and everything wiped off. I've been doing YouTube videos today, so I just have the stand sitting up there for now, but I'll get a little bit closer so you can see it. Simple range, or nothing fancy. I have used the stove one time. I ended up just burning it, so now I'm burning the thing I was cooking, which was toasting bread. So now I just kind of ignore it and don't use it at all. But I do use the stove a lot because I've been cooking in a fair amount. I did do the classic Pinterest thing and put all my commonly used spices right up in these little bins. These are magnetic, so there's a little magnet on the bottom, and I just wrote the name of the spice on top. I use them pretty regularly. I've gone through spices enough, like I've refilled these about 3 times while we've been on the road, so it hasn't been a problem, you know, with them getting too hot or the spices getting spoiled. So the best thing is that just about any store has smaller amounts of, or like bulk bins of spices, so I was able to keep them filled pretty easily. We do have a microwave in here, which I reheat my coffee in more than I do anything, but that's been helpful if Kendra wants, like, I don't know, top ramen, things like that. So I have a good amount of cupboard space here. Ta-da! So my concern and my fear is getting mice. They tell you that if you're in an RV long enough that you end up getting mice. This is like a fear of mine, so as I've been bringing things home that are perishable, I've just been taking the time, like cereal is like a big one that they get into, so I've just been taking and putting everything like this that could be snacky into one of these plastic bins that I got at Target. They were pretty inexpensive, and obviously we don't have a ton of space, so it's been nice to have the storage that fits in together, Loctite and everything. So I do have dishes, and so like back here in this cupboard is where our plates are. The challenge is that because I have to hand wash my plates that I end up using them so much. So we've reverted basically to using paper plates, which, yes, it's a little bit wasteful, but I feel better about it because I think that the other side of it is that we were using so much water before that it was a bit of a nightmare. So we do have a Keurig. Initially, when I first got started, I was using a French press, and after breaking it, my husband decided we needed a Keurig. I'm the only one that drinks coffee, so this one is bigger than the one that I would have picked up. He chose it. I would have gotten something smaller, but you know how these things go if you're married. Up here, these are all of our cups. I brought way too many coffee cups. I have like sentimental cups from events that I've been to, and I like to collect Starbucks cups, so back at the house I did keep a lot of cups. But in here we basically have 4 of these big cups, 4 of these little cups, 4 wine glasses, and then I started with 4 coffee cups and ended up with a lot more. We also keep our manual up here, and then my husband and I both podcast, so our podcasting mics, and then one of my cameras is up there. So this has been a nice little extra storage space for us. A couple of other things that I've got down here. This is just kind of your average, you know, we've got medicines down here. I keep my essential oils there, extra plastic bags, and then cleaning stuff. So nothing too fancy. My drawers for silverware and cooking utensils. I keep Kendra's top ramen and snacks in here along with storage bags. I do use a lot of storage bags because anything that's left over basically has to be put away into the fridge. And then down here, this is my drawer. I brought our blender, and I brought coffee and then plastic bags here. We also have a mini waffle maker, so that stays in there. This is our freezer. I have not been keeping a lot of meat in stock. I've been trying to in my freezer. I have been trying to keep up on going shopping pretty regularly, so I'm not trying to keep too much stuff built up in the end. And then here is our fridge. The biggest challenge that I've had with food is figuring out the right temperature that the refrigerator needs to be on so that everything doesn't freeze. I must have thrown out so much lettuce, and now I've gotten the hang of it, and I can figure it out. Also, this system back here, this just drips, and I couldn't figure out it. When we first moved in, I was just letting it like all the water drip down, and I was like, this is such a crappy system. How can I live like this? Because the water was dripping onto the lettuce, and then the lettuce would freeze, and I was like, how are we ever gonna have food? And then I realized that there's this clever little tray right here that I had just stuck in the bottom because I didn't know what it was for, and it turns out that is for the lettuce anyway, or for to catch the whatever water so it doesn't freeze. So this is outside of this section where my husband normally sits. This is the second busiest part of the house. I didn't go crazy cleaning it up because this is what it actually looks like 90% of the time here. So my daughter does her schooling here, so this is a stack of her school stuff. Obviously her phone is charging, and like anybody else's kid, she just throws her sweatshirt here. So there's usually a sweatshirt sitting there. And then this is my corner. This is my laptop and my planners and such, that I access all of my stuff. And so this stuff is usually out. It usually looks like this. It's cluttered, I get it, but that's kind of the way that we're living right now. I mean, I like that the floor area is opened outside of the things I've got to put away here. I just like this space being open so we can walk and not be in the middle of each other's way. And since this is kind of tucked away on the corner, I eat here, my daughter eats there, and my husband still likes eating on the couch, just like most people's husbands. So we have not done a whole lot with the blinds. I've just kind of left them alone, and I haven't hung anything up because I haven't found anything that I was in love with. When we first got this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do all this stuff, and then I ended up doing nothing. This is our bedroom. You can see how beautiful and sexy it is. I go out and take the dog out in the morning, so I just started hanging up my jacket right there. That's my morning jacket. I put this super ugly cover on the window. It's like the cover you would put in the front of your window when you're trying to block out the sun on a hot day. When I get up in the morning, this is the brightness of what the sun comes in at, and that's just too much. I'm not a big person into sleeping in, but between the heat and the brightness that it had, I just needed something. I was going to sew a curtain and be all fancy, and then I just realized after talking to some other RV people that this is what they do, so whatever. We don't use this door right now because of the setup that we have outside, so we're not opening the door anyway, and I'm the only one that sees it, except for now all of you that I'm making a video for. This is the only decor that I've hung up in here. These are buttons that I collected from things that I like I'm passionate about, obviously, planners and stickers and stuff, and so this was a cute way for me to not feel so homesick and be able to display some of those things. The events that I've gone to while I've been gone, these are lanyards for them. So here's me. Hi, me. This is my closet area, and I guess I'll open it up for you. Ta-da! For those of you that are wondering, see, it's not very classy. I wanted to fold all my clothes. I brought about 2 weeks worth of clothes with me, and so in doing so, this is it. This is what I own outside of what is in that little laundry basket there. My chonies are right here, and a little bit of my jewelry too, and then all my tank tops are here, bras are here, t-shirts, and then down here are dresses and pants, shorts as well. I really wanted my clothes folded up and put into bins. My husband wanted his hung, and so that is his prerogative. Up here are just jackets, extra set of linens. I, again, did not want to bring a ton of stuff. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Something that we did add were these little hooks here. These are just command strip hooks, and so at night I have my face mask that I take off and my glasses go up there, and that makes it so I don't crush my glasses, but it also makes it so they're out of the way. And this is my husband's side of the bed. He gets the pleasure of our modems sitting on his side of the bed. He's got his clothing storage here, and then his clothes hung up there. We just got a new Cox modem, so I was talking to some of the other RV moms to ask them how they are managing with this giant ugly box, and they said they stuck 4 or 5 Velcro command strips on the side and just attached it to the wall. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out if I want to tackle or not. So that's a tour of our little lovely abode here, and I figured it's a good way for you guys to start out and see what kind of space we're working with as we're going around. It's not a lot of space, but it's enough that it's worth worth mentioning. I'm gonna try to pop outside and see if I can show you the outside of the trailer. It's super windy out here, so I hope you guys can still hear me. Oh, you can see we're in Arizona, and it's windy, which is unusual. It's normally not this windy. So I'm gonna back up really quick so you guys can see the length of our trailer. Boom. This is it. We're in an Imagine Grand Design 2800. We've got a little stove out here, which I'll pop back in and show you for those of you that are interested. Bloop. There's just a little latch on the outside that you unhook. Ta-da! And you lift it up. So this is where I keep like my laundry soap. My husband is obsessed with LaCroix right now. So we end up with a fridge full of LaCroix and outside drinks. This is a little stove that I've used when we've cooked outside before. It's obviously too cold right now for us to do that. So I haven't been using it very much. This is the windows for the bunks if you just want or trying to put together where it is that we've got. We do have an awning that extends out. Unfortunately, the sun comes up and just comes across this whole sky here. So we have not been using it while we've been here in Arizona, but in other places that we've been, it's been phenomenal. It's a good way to end our video, right? Yeah. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed the tour of our Imagine Grand Design 2800. This has been our house and where we've been living. Feels like a long time, but it's only been 6 months.